Hello friends, hope you are having a fantastic day today. So in this video, we are actually going to solve a very popular LeetCode problem. So without any delays, let's get started. So the LeetCode problem we are going to solve is called evaluate reverse Polish notation. And we can see that this is a LeetCode medium problem and also an extremely well-liked problem on LeetCode. The problem statement is quite straightforward, but it actually has bunch of different conditions that we need to understand. So we are given an array of strings called tokens. Now these strings represents an arithmetic expression in the reverse Polish notation. Now we need to evaluate the expression and we need to return the integer that represents the value of the expression. Now let's try to see some of the conditions that we are given. Number one, the valid operations are plus, minus, multiply and division. So these are the four operations that we can imagine to expect in our string that is coming in. Now we are being told that each operand may be an integer or another expression. So we will see this in another example. Then we are being told that the division between two integers always truncates towards 0, which means we are always considering the the floor value of any equation, and then we are being told that all the inputs are going to be valid and there are not going to be any issues. So let's try to see one example, one very simple example. So in this case, the answer is going to be that the moment we identify an operator, we will have to go back and take the previous two elements, and if these two are whatever the numbers are, we are going to be using that with this operator. So we are going to be treating this as A, we are going to be treating this as B, and since this is a plus operator, we are actually going to be doing A plus B. So we need to return 3 as the answer in this case. Let's try to take some slightly more complex examples. First we are going to, okay, so this is the number, we move ahead. Once again a number, we move ahead. We identify an operator. So now we are going to be treating these two values as A and B. So we are going to be doing A plus B. So 1 plus 2. So the answer of this portion is actually going to be 3. Our equation looks like 3 and then 3 and then plus. So once again we are going to be doing 3 plus 3. So the answer is 6. So out of this operation we need to return 6 as the answer. So this is the whole logic of what the problem is actually asking us to solve. That whenever we are given the values, we keep moving forward until we find either one of these three operators like plus, minus, multiplication or division. The moment we identify these four operators, we are going to be treating the previous two values as A and B and then apply this operator and then keep on repeating the same process until we run out of every single digits inside the given inputs, and we are being told that all the inputs are valid. Now after this extensive explanation, let's try to understand the most simplest brute force approach. So brute force approach is actually quite straightforward. Suppose we are given the values 4, 5, plus, and then minus, and then 7. Suppose these are the values we are given. So idea is that we are going to keep on iterating one by one. The moment we identify an operator, then once again we go back to the previous two elements and we use it with that operator, and then once again we identify, okay, so now this becomes 9 and then minus and then 7. So once again we keep on repeating the same operation using the operator. But the thing is, many times, for let's assume that if this is a very long string and we identify operator at very late, the moment we identify operator, once again we are going to be repeating the same process in order to find the values A and B. So this becomes very tiresome operation. So the idea is that we need to make it better and find some smarter ways to keep track of all the elements from the point we find the operators in the reverse order, and also have an idea on how we can keep on moving forward with the given input array and start parsing the values. So these are the two main considerations that we will have to understand. So the idea I am suggesting is that we can actually use stack to solve this problem. So suppose this is the long operation that we are given. Now the idea I am suggesting in using the stack is that at the very beginning, we are actually going to be iterating the same way we are iterating. All the values we find, we are going to be pushing these values inside the stack. The moment we identify the operator, we are going to be popping the previous two elements and treating them as A and B, and then applying that operator with that value. And once again, whatever the answer we find, we are also going to be pushing those answer inside the stack, and then we are going to keep on repeating the same process until we identify the operator. And then when we reach to the end, we should have our answer ready because we are being told that the given input is actually valid. So let's see the solution in action. So currently our stack is empty. Now we are at very first element number 2. So we are going to be pushing element number 2 inside the stack. Now we are element number 3 and once again element number 7. Okay, now we identified an operator plus. So the moment we identified the plus operator, we are actually going to be popping these two values out. So if we do that, we will have value 7 and 3 that we need to do the sum of. So 7 plus 3 is going to give us the answer 10. So currently the answer of this portion is going to be 10. So we are going to be pushing this 10 inside the stack. And now look at the stack. It actually contains the equation for this portion because sum of these three values is 10 that is present over here, and then 2 was already here. Now we have 10 and 2. Once again we identify a multiplication sign. So we need to do 2 times 10. So we get the value as 20. So now once again we are going to be pushing the value 20 because we already popped out 2 and 10. Okay. So now we have value 20 inside our array. And now we once again identified value number 8 and then once again value number 19. So let's push that. Okay, after doing that, now we identified symbol plus. So once again for plus we are going to be doing 8 plus 19. So the answer is going to be 27. Okay, so now we are, because we popped out 19 and 8, we push 27 down, and then we have this minus operator. So last operation we are going to be doing is 27 minus 20. So the answer is going to be 7. So 7 is what we need to return in this case to solve the problem. And this is the whole solution that I'm proposing using the stack. Look how beautiful it is. Look how at any given moment, but the moment we identified the operator, we can actually find the previous two elements back, and we can actually do the sum that needs to be done, or some division, subtraction, whatever. And this is how we can solve the reverse Polish operation very beautifully using stack. This is one of the most awesome way to use stack in the real life problem, and that's why this is such a popular problem that we have seen in tons of interviews being asked. So if we see time complexity in this case, the time complexity is actually going to be big O of n because we are going to be iterating over every single character just once, nothing more than that. In terms of space complexity, we are using an additional stack. So depending on how apart the characters are from any operation, the size of stack can increase or decrease, but overall it is going to be big O of n, so which is good and acceptable time and space complexity in this regard. So now let's see the coding solution for this one. So the idea is quite straightforward. First of all, we are going to be initializing our stack. Then for every single token, we are first of all going to check that if the given token is operator or not. If the moment we identify that if the given token is operator, we are going to be popping two values out. So first value we pop out is going to be our B, and second value is going to be our A. And then we are going to be applying our operator that we have found using this method. So let's see a couple of the helper methods. First helper method is the isOperator helper method, where we are simply checking that if the given token is equal to any of these four values. And second one, we are applying the operator where we are simply going to go over the given input values, that is the string and then A value and B value, and we are simply returning depending on the operator to whether do the addition, subtraction, multiplication or division. And if none of this case is there, we are simply adding one extra argument, but I don't think this is going to be called because we are being told that the given input is valid. If that is not the case and we did not find that these are the operator, by the way, the moment we identified the operator, we also do the calculation, and whatever the result we found, we once again push it down the stack. If that is not the case, which means the given token is not an operator, so we simply push it down the stack, but we first of all convert the value inside the integer because we know that this is going to be the integer value. And once this loop runs, we should have been done with our reverse Polish notation, and whatever the value left inside the given stack would be the answer that we need to return. So we can simply pop the very last element. So let's try to run this code. Okay, seems like our solution is working as expected. Let's submit this code. And our code runs pretty fast in terms of time complexity, which is pretty awesome. Once again, the coding solution for this problem is present inside our GitHub repository, so you can find it from there. Thank you.